You know, if we didn't just get outscored by the Leafs 13-1, I would probably not be as happy about this as I am. But let's face it, compared to what we had, tonight was a miracle. I mean, think about it. We didn't just manage to score one goal, which was something we found hard in two of the games against the Leafs. We didn't manage to score two, which is something we never did against the Leafs. We managed to score 3 goals and win a hockey game in regulation. Oh my goodness, this is a miracle. The Edmonton Oilers defeat the Calgary Flames 3-2 in the first proper Battle of Alberta tonight. Going into this game, and I'm going to talk about it now, very thrown in there last minute and with no proper planning behind it, kind of like the Calgary Flames philosophy behind it. Let's talk about the fact that Geoff Ward, is that his name, was fired by the Calgary Flames, replaced with Daryl Sutter, who has not started there yet. He will start there in a few games. I think he just has a couple protocols he has to go through, but he will be playing there, coaching there, and tonight they had an assistant take place. Just gonna get my quick thoughts on this. Yes, why not? Sure, Calgary really did need a bit of a change of pace. I think it was a smart idea. Only reason Geoff Ward got to keep his job, because remember, he's only been employed there for a little over a year. Obviously, he was appointed head coach once. It was Bill Peters who got fired for being a racist asshole. And yeah, we ended up seeing Geoff Ward go in. The team was alright. They won a round against the Jets in the play-in round. Which, by the way, Jets fans, I'm sorry. You lost 7-1 tonight. And then lost to Dallas in an absolutely horrible choke. But Geoff Ward got to keep his job. Now they're seeing that he's kind of just, mediocre and not that good, so they fired him. And now they're getting Daryl Sutter in, who hopefully can reinvigorate the team a little bit. Let's see what Calgary can do. And tonight was a good showing. It was their first game without Geoff Ward as the bench boss this season, and it was an interesting one. But let's now hop into the actual review now that we're done talking about Calgary's coaching situation. When it comes to the lineup, back to pretty much normal tonight. We did not have the dry line and Draisaitl, Nuge, and Yamamoto together. Instead, we saw Hopkins, McDavid, Puljujarvi, Kahun, Draisaitl, and Yamamoto reunite as the top six. Devon Shore, Jujhar Khaira, and Kyle Turris get third line role. Tyler Ennis not in tonight. Neil, Haas, and Chiasson coming back in tonight. And Josh Archibald also out, if I'm not mistaken. Nurse, Barry, Russell Larson, Jones Bear, and Mike Smith in net. Back and forth to start in the first 4 minutes or so. By the way, I don't really have a lot to say about tonight. Tonight was a really weird game, and I think I'll talk more about it after I go through all the events I have written down, but yeah. Back and forth game in the first few minutes. Shots 11-1 Calgary, 11 minutes in. So, again, in that 7-minute spot, there wasn't much I had to say. But we were getting dominated to start, and it showed here. Yamamoto takes a tripping call. The Oilers fail to clear the puck, and then the Calgary Flames catch him off guard. The Oilers penalty killers are somewhere. Darnell Nurse is screening his own goalie, just sitting there like, I don't know what universe I'm in. Am I even human at this point? And what a shocker, Johnny Gaudreau gets a one-timer. It's 1-0 Calgary. I don't care if you win this game or not. If that's how you're going to play, if this is what we're going to do, if this is how we're still going to do things, this team is going to have its problems magnified quickly. It's not going to end up well for them. Nurse, and then we have 2 fights. And by the way, there was so much physical play in this game. I could talk about all these. There was a lot of big hits tonight. This was the first proper Battle of Alberta. Darnell Nurse took on Milan Lucic. By the way, if you do not know, we're keeping score on fights this year. Wins, losses, draws. Going into this game, I thought that they were 1-2-1. Darnell Nurse got absolutely murdered by Milan Lucic. When you look at that fight, when you look at what was happening, Milan Lucic, every time he hit the face of Darnell Nurse, pushed it in. Just completely crushed him. And it was a win for Lucic. So we're 1-3-1 in fights as a team this year. Then James Neal took on Matthew Tkachuk. this was a bit closer of a fight, but actually, James Neal won it because he ended up on top at the end of it, and also he didn't really get hit with anything that major, so I'd say James Neal wins that fight. So yeah, 2-3-1, the new fight record, in my opinion. Draisaitl takes a slashing penalty. It gets killed off. And that first period was a very bad period, because we also have to remember the context going into this period. 8 of the 9 periods before, the Oilers were held scoreless. Yeah, held scoreless again. Had a shot against them every minute of this game on average. And went 9 of 10 without a goal. Is brutal. Thank God they turned it around. In the second period, Brett Ritchie takes an interference penalty. Some chances, but not a lot. And then Chris Tanev decides, you know what? Hey, Kyle Turris, you're making $1.65 million. How about I hit that out of you and claim it for my own? Proceeding to run him over. Oh, good God. How did Turris just get up? Like, boof. He just got manhandled, destroyed by Chris Tanev. Then Draisaitl takes a cross-checking penalty. The penalty kill somehow holds on. And by holding on, I mean like that. That's what I meant by holding on. And then both teams are not really doing much. Just kind of just feels like it's happening. And I actually wrote here, and I guess I'm wrong for it. I said, it feels like this game is almost over. I was wrong. I was very wrong, I will say. And then this happened. Chris Russell takes a wrist shot. It goes off the low part of the post, off of Markstrom's pad. It's out. There's a juicy rebound. And who's there? Jesse Puljujarvi, 7th of the season. I will never get bored of saying his name. I'll never get bored of talking about him. And good God, Jesse Puljujarvi is a top 6 forward. Don't at me, okay? Maybe it's just that, yes, he is playing with McDavid. But here's the thing about why I think Jesse Puljujarvi is a definite top 6 forward at this moment. When it comes to guys that have played in the role he has before, like Cassian, like James Neal, if you want to go back a few years, like Ty Ratty. Yep, that was a thing. Ty Ratty with Connor McDavid. None of them were able to actually create chances for themselves. No offense to anyone. It's just none of them were doing a really good job at being able to create their own chances. Jesse Puljujarvi, on the other hand, knows where to be and knows how to score goals, knows that he is able to create his own offense. Jesse Puljujarvi is a top 6 forward. Do not at me. I don't care if it's, at least from how he's playing over the past 15 games, he is a top 6 forward. Ever since they put him with McDavid, he is a top 6 forward. Third period. We go from the good of Chris Russell, creating that shot, to the bad of Chris Russell. He stands directly in front of Mike Smith, and when you look at the footage, they pretty much showed a camera which shows right behind Noah Hanifin, the one who scored the goal's perspective. Matthew Tkachuk is there, but he's over to the side of the net that's empty. Chris Russell, on the other hand, is standing right where Mike Smith is, and then Noah Hanifin just says, hey, the goalie can't see, plop, it's 2-1, and at this point I'm just thinking, good God, this team doesn't know how to defend anything. They can't win, can they? Not long later, great neutral zone play leads to McDavid being able to enter the zone. By the way, McDavid also broke the pointless streak on the first goal, and he'll also break it here. He gets into the zone, he enters with a puck, Draisaitl up front, cutting towards the middle, McDavid pass to him, Draisaitl pulls out, passes it around to Yamamoto, who pops it. It goes off a backhand stick and in. I don't care. We have a tie game. Whew. Calm down here for a minute. We're good to go. Tkachuk then takes a charging penalty. Nothing on the plate. Penalty-wise, and then, if you did not think Connor McDavid was back after his dry spell, this man is back. Walks in the zone, up the wing, takes the shot, it clanks off the far post, and in! It's a 3-2 hockey game. The Oilers have taken the lead. And then the agonizing wait. Calgary throwing everything they have with the empty net. Me sitting there just thinking of the meme, no senor, no senor, no senor. That's all I could think in my head as we just watched the Oilers again just holding on for dear life. And they won. they won. They're no longer fourth like they were after Montreal beat Winnipeg tonight. They're now third again, behind Winnipeg. Good, finally. Like, god damn it! It took you long enough to win a game. Took you long enough to score more than one goal in 3 games. Finally. That's all I have to say. But we're not going to end the video there. While I'm done talking about the game, one more thing I want to talk about. It's the big thing that's happened in the hockey community over the past while, and something that I actually do have a story on and have a perspective on, as many do. A few days ago, we heard of the passing of Walter Gretzky. He passed away. I think he was battling Parkinson's, I want to say it was. He was battling with diseases, and he passed away. I got the privilege of meeting Walter Gretzky twice. The first time I met him, and I am going to go in these stories, so this might be a little bit of a tirade. The first time I met him was in 2013 when I went to the ACC, it was called at the time, to watch the Toronto Maple Leafs play the Colorado Avalanche. Yes, I cheered for the Avalanche while I was there. And I went to the game, and the tickets we had were from season ticket holders. They gave us tickets. And we had tickets that were like, I don't know how far away they were, but they couldn't have been more than 8 rows away, I would say, from Walter Gretzky. Eight rows down, Walter Gretzky was there. And so I took my whatever it is, the yearbook that you can buy at the games with like the information on the inside about tonight's game. I brought it over to him and he signed it for me. Incredibly nice, incredibly kind, incredibly generous with his time. Like my stories aren't something that you probably haven't already heard, but I'm just sharing them because I feel it's appropriate to share our stories about how generous, how kind of a man he was. The second time I met him was in Cobourg, Ontario. I can't remember the day specifically, but there was a day in Cobourg where there was a bit of a charity event that went down, where they had a team of NHL legends. I think the team had like Rick Vaive on it, and a couple other guys, taking on a local team that had been training. And there was a game down at the Cobourg Community Center, and it was once again my papa who that's who I went to the Leafs games with first as well. Me and him went to this, watched the game, and then afterwards there was an after party at Boston Pizza in Cobourg. I don't remember the day specifically, but I know it was whatever day the Winnipeg Jets eliminated the Minnesota Wild back in the 2018 playoffs, because that was on the big screen. And I once again met Walter Gretzky, and I got an autograph with him. And again, just nice and generous with his time, and it sucks because we lost a legend. We did lose a legend. They call him Canada's hockey dad. I think Wayne said it best today, and don't quote me directly, but he said that the world would be a lot better if there was more people like Walter, and I don't think you can say he's wrong. Don't think you can. Thank you all for watching this video. Good win for the Oilers tonight. And rest in peace to Walter Gretzky. Um, I don't think he had a I don't think he had a bad bone in his body. Rest in peace.